Chinese tennis star accused the former top Communist Party leader of sexual assault, triggering blanket censorship. China's Peng Shuai in action at the Australian Open Tennis Championship in Melbourne, Australia, January 21, 2020. Hong Kong CNN. A Chinese tennis star's explosive Me Too allegation against the former state leader has been muffled by blanket censorship, with authorities racing to wipe up any mention of politically sensitive scandal that has reverberated across the Chinese internet. Peng Shuai, 35, a former Wimbledon and French Open doubles champion, on Tuesday accused the retired Vice Premier Zhang Gaoli of pressuring her into having sex. According to the screenshots of the since deleted post from Peng's verified account on Weibo, China's Twitter-like social media platform, CNN could not independently verify the authenticity of the more than 1,600 word post and has reached out to Peng for comment, as well as to China's State Council Information Office, which handles press inquiries for the central government. In the post, which reads as an open letter to Chang, he alleges a relationship over intermittent periods that spanned at least 10 years. Peng says she opens her heart to Zhang, who is now 75 years old. Why didn't you have to come back to your home to force me to have sex with you? Yes, I did not have any evidence, and it was simply impossible to have evidence, she wrote. I couldn't describe how disgusted I was, and how many times I asked myself, am I still a human? I feel like a walking corpse. Every day I was acting, which person is the real me? China's former Vice Premier Zhang Gaoli speaks during the Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation on May 14, 2017 in Beijing, China. CNN could not reach Zhang, who served on the ruling Communist Party's seven-person Politburo Standing Committee, the country's supreme leadership body, from 2012 to 2017 during Chinese leader Xi Jinping's first term in power. He retired as vice premier in 2018. In China, top leaders of Chang's standing remain unapproachable and private even after retirement, which makes reaching him to comment for this story virtually impossible. China's fledgling Me Too movement has targeted academics, NGO workers, and celebrities in the past with varying results. But this is the first time it has reached the very upper echelons of the Communist Party. I must realize how remarkable it is for Peng Shuai to choose to speak out. Few people would have the courage to do that because it could come in the expense of the safety of yourself and your family, said Liu Pin, the prominent Chinese feminist now based in New York. Adding to the political sensitivity, the scandal also came just days before the crucial meeting of the party elite in Beijing, which is expected to pave the way of Xi Jinping to cement a third term in office. Blanket censorship. As Peng's allegations made waves online, censorship kicked in with a speed and ferocity unseen in any of the country's previous Me Too cases. Her lengthy post, published shortly after 10 p.m. on Tuesday, was deleted in under 30 minutes. Screenshots of Screenshots of it had initially circulated widely across the social media and private chat groups, but soon they were censored too, along with the other posts discussing the case. Pang's verified account, which has more than 500,000 followers, remains on Weibo as of Wednesday evening, but it has been blocked from searches or comment sections under her previous post has been shut down too. In a sign of the unprecedented level of censorship, even a Weibo discussion page about tennis was closed for comment, and the obscure references to the scandal were removed too. In Dubon, China's IMDb-like movie review website, the page of a Korean romance TV show Prime Minister and I was censored after users discussed Pang's case in its review section. The strict and thorough censorship stands in stark contrast to the response to other recent high-profile Me Too cases, such as the rape allegations against the Canadian Chinese pop star Chris Wu. That scandal was allowed to gain huge traction on social media, dominating top trending topics on Weibo for days, while state media amplified the accusation, censoring Wu for his moral decadence. Wu was subsequently arrested on suspicion of rape. Before he was detained, Wu had denied the allegations on his personal Weibo account. His company said it was pursuing a legal action against his accuser, calling the accusations malicious rumors. Soon afterward, the government unleashed the sweeping crackdown on the entertainment industry, canceling a host of misbehaving celebrities. The allegations Pang claimed in her post that she first had sex with Chang more than 10 years ago, when Chang served as the Communist Party boss of Tianjin, a coastal city to the southeast of Beijing. But Chang broke off the contact after he was promoted to the Politburo Standing Committee in Beijing, according to the Post. It did not explain the circumstances of their first sexual engagement. Then, one morning, about 3 years ago, after Chang had retired, the Post alleges Pang was suddenly invited by him to play tennis in Beijing. Afterward, she writes, Chang and his wife brought Pang back to their home, where Pang claimed she was pressured into having sex with Chang. That afternoon, I did not agree at first and was crying all the time. Pang wrote, after dinner with Chang and his wife, and following much persuading from Chang, she relented, according to the Post. Like Chang, his wife Kang Ji-ye remains closely shielded by the government and could not be reached for comment. I was panicking and I was scared, and I agreed to it with my feelings for you from 7 years ago, the Post said. The Peng Shuai placed in the 2012 Wimbledon Championship. Peng said she then entered the extramarital relationship with Chang, but she suffered too much injustice and insult. She claimed they got into a quarrel last week and Chang refused to meet her and disappeared. Peng said she did not have evidence to prove her allegations and claimed Chang was always worried that she would record things. I know that for someone of your eminence, Vice Premier Chang Gaoli, you said you were not afraid, but even if it's just me, like an egg hitting the stone, a moth flying into flames, courting self-destruction, I will tell the truth about us. she wrote. CNN cannot independently verify the Pang's claims. Information surrounding personal lives for senior Chinese officials is typically shrouded in secrecy, with even some of the most basic biographical information considered taboo. Undersea, however, the supposed extravagances and misdeeds of some disgraced officers caught up in his anti-corruption campaign has been made widely public, providing a rare window into their private lives. She is a truly outstanding woman. Despite the censorship, many social media users have voiced support for Pang, often in vague terms. How desperate and helpless she must have been, posted a popular tennis blogger with more than 200,000 followers. Hope you stay safe. I don't know what else can I say apart from praying she will be safe. I've accepted by default that this incident will disappear from the internet. The post will disappear. The account will disappear. Justice will disappear. Only the pain that torments the victim will not disappear. Only the fear of the next victim will not disappear, said another comment. Sexual assault survivors have long faced strong stigma and resistance in China at the official level as well as among the public. But in the recent years, a growing number of women have rallied around the victims who speak out as the Me Too movement gathered steam. Liv, the feminist activist in New York, said Pang sparked wide public sympathy, partially because how successful she has been in her professional career. In 2013, Pang won the doubles championship at Wimbledon with her partner from Taiwan. In 2014, the duo won the French Open double titles. Pang was also a former US Open semi-finalist. She is a truly outstanding woman, a glory of China, the world-famous person. Even a woman like her would be trapped in the predicament like this, Liv said. This shows just how many hurdles Chinese women have to leap over up their pursuit for equality and independence. Everybody's worried about her. Nobody knows what would happen to her. I think public attention to the case is her biggest protection, she added.